shit, man. You can't plan this shit, man. Life gonna go how it's gonna go. You just gotta go with the flow, you feel me? I can't even say that I chose this way of life, man. This shit chose me.
Hey.
Alright. Welcome, everybody. This is Heat of the Moment, episode 2, being filmed on May 25th. This kid's birthday. Happy birthday, PJ. I'm Sam Silvera. Fuck you, man. This is PJ. PJ, why don't you introduce your guest?
This is my boy Satchel, Big Satch, the power forward. He's a what fan are you?
Sixers, Eagles, Phillies, and the A's.
And
Happy
the
to
A's,
be here.
man. Happy to be here. Happy to have you, man. Satchel, what do you like in sports, man? What are you liking right now?
Well, whatever there is, really.
Yeah,
Like, do you guys watch that golf?
Yeah, that was some dumb shit. Tom Brady's ass.
I don't know. Did
you see the video of him bending down to get the ball
Ripping
and his
his
fucking
pants.
pants split open at the ass crack?
You SpongeBob memes.
Yeah.
Thick boy.
But anyway,
Jesus Christ.
yeah, I like looking at the MLB plans and shit, like the Bryce Harper one with the round robin tournament. You guys hear about that?
Yeah, actually, I got the details right here.
Yeah.
The Bryce Harper plan. This is proposed by Bryce Harper over his Instagram. This is what he thinks that the new MLB season should be. Obviously, there are going to have to be some amendments to the usual 162 games. So Bryce Harper believes that we should go east-west like the NBA. Season would start in July, go to mid-November for a total of 135 games. In those 135 games, as opposed to the usual 5-man starting rotation and starting pitching, there would be 6 starters in order to save arms. For the playoffs, it would be the same 10 teams would make it, but now instead of a normal bracket, it would be the round-robin College World Series type of playoffs. And additionally, with all that, they would move the Home Run Derby and the All-Star Game to the end of the season. So, boys, what do you think about that?
I fuck with it.
You like it?
I like it. I like the idea of the All-Star break after the season.
Yeah.
Because some people, like Josh Bell, start extremely fast and end terribly.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be good all throughout the season.
Yeah.
And on the other side of the coin, like the Marcus Semyons of the league and stuff. Like, I know we're A's fans, but, you
Absolutely.
know, dude tore it up. He finished third in AL MVP voting and didn't make the All-Star team. Like, what kind of shit is that? You can't have it in the halfway point of the season because it's not fair to the guys who get hot when it actually matters. Like, the team made the playoffs.
That home stretch is really, really, really important. I agree with that.
And he played every game in the season, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Cal Ripken streak and all that. It's he was really impressive, and he didn't get the recognition. Finished runner-up to, you know, the best player in baseball and a cheater. So,
Yeah.
I mean, but still, like, third in AL MVP voting is something, and if you're not an All-Star, like,
Yeah,
you gotta.
I agree with that.
I think that All-Star break at the end of the season makes a lot of sense. Now, the only problem with that would be, like, guys who are playing in the World Series who are All-Stars. Like, that would be a little bit less popular with them.
Well, that's the same thing. The NFL Pro Bowl does the same thing. You know, you have players that are voted in, you know, and they can't make it because they're in the Pro Bowl, or even people who are playing in the AFC Championship are so focused on that game and they lose and it's heartbreaking and they don't want to play.
Yeah.
But the one thing I will say is that I don't know if they could fit in 135 games into the season, man. You know, that is a lot of stress on these players in such a short time because, you know, baseball is ruthless in the training. I mean, obviously it's not football where it's a contact sport, but there's so much that goes into every game and preparation and just like for a 7 o'clock night game, you'll get to the field at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock to start batting practice, and to do that we're so concentrated from July to mid-November, that seems almost impossible to me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're playing, and during the regular MLB season, they're playing a game almost every night then, too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just 132 games from, mid-July to November?
Yeah, July to mid-November, yeah.
How many months is that? It's like 4.5 months?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so
135 games in 4.5 months, that's tough, man.
That's really tough. Yeah, you're not going to get a lot of off days, but, like, it's doable.
Yeah.
If they really wanted to, and the six-man rotation would help with that. You know,
The six-man rotation is definitely necessary if they do that. But I mean, this is also contingent on the fact that the MLB players need to be able to accept the fact that they're going to get less money. You know?
Yeah. Oh, actually, can we talk about because
absolutely
the whole thing with
absolutely.
you know, you see the thing about Blake Snell bitching that he's not going to get 25% or 30% of his paycheck. Like, dude, you're making what tens of millions? He's making tens of millions.
Yeah, I think
right?
he's still he's on a small contract.
Oh, he's on his rookie deal still.
Still doesn't matter.
It doesn't fucking matter. He's making a whole lot more than exactly.
Right now, and that's so much more than you could ask for. In reality, you should just be blessed to be playing the game. You know, you are playing the game at a major league level that you've been aspiring to play your entire life. So what if it's 25% of your pay? It comes back next year, you'll get it back.
I fuck with Blake Snell though, because he went on Instagram Live with Cam Jordan.
Nah,
why is that relevant to anything we have to say?
Seriously, what the hell?
We're talking about fucking baseball.
Excuse the fuck out of me.
Jesus, man.
Blake Snell kind of annoys the hell out of me. I mean, first off, he's just kind of a dick. And second off, like, the whole I'm not going to get paid thing is just kind of ridiculous to me because the rest of us, like, me, you, and Sam, and, like, we're sitting in this room, it's like, I mean, as it stands right now, none of us get to play in the MLB, even though we all really wanted to. Like, we've all been playing baseball since
free, man.
Yeah, we've been playing baseball since we were 5 years old each, and none of us get to go to the league. Like, we don't get to do that, and you're complaining because you're not.
Don't count me out yet. Don't count me out yet, baby.
Sure. And none of us get like the money or the lifestyle, but that's not what it's about. Like, it's about playing, and if you don't want to play, then I mean, what are you doing in the league? You know?
It comes with the risk. Obviously, I understand. You know, Chipper Jones said it best. I saw. He said, you know, it's one thing to say, you know, you're taking a risk and you won't do it because there's a risk of death and whatnot. But on the other hand, when you bring in the money aspect to it, and you're so fortunate to be playing the game you love for all this money, that really is almost, in a sense, too much. I don't want to say too much because I'm a baseball player and I'm glad these guys are getting paid and not all of them come from something. But like millions and millions of dollars, you could take that cut, man. That's a bad look for the league in saying that you won't play because of the money, because you're already getting paid so much, especially for a guy like Blake Snell who's due for a contract extension after a Cy Young season.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to find a balance in between what you're actually playing for. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I mean, you don't like none of the minor leaguers grinding for a spot on a roster are gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna take the season off because not paying me, because the minor leaguers don't get paid shit anyway.
There are minor league players who in part-time drive Uber and do DoorDash because they can't fucking make enough to pay their rent. So like, why are you bitching about?
Big leaguers want to get their money. It's like,
be happy to be there, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
totally.
Now. Specifically into Major League Baseball, you're a Phillies fan, and the Phillies after this last year, you know, they made some in 2019 made some big splashes in free agency. You know, got Bryce Harper, obviously the big name, got Andrew McCutchen, Gene Segura. What the hell?
JT.
Oh, JT Realmuto, very good too.
Best catcher in baseball.
Ooh. One of.
Best catcher in baseball.
Really?
I like it.
All around?
I like it.
I think he's the best catcher in baseball.
Maybe offensively. I don't know, man. There's still a guy named Yadier Molina who has 12 gold gloves.
I think you're forgetting about Yasmani Grandal.
Yasmani Grandal and the
I
White
think
Sox
JT Realmuto is the best catcher in baseball.
I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you, but
that's highly debatable.
That's tough. I mean, I happen to have said that before too, but only because I'm a Phillies fan and I'm just trying to stir shit up. But like, I don't know if I really actually believe that. Like,
yeah, I don't have a stat line in front of me, so I can't say that. But I mean, it is a rarity, I will say, for catchers to possess the offensive ability that he has, and that's where you kind of have to bring Yasmani Grandal into it. But I will say, Realmuto is much better defensively than Yasmani Grandal, so it's possible. You know, he's definitely one of the top 3 catchers in the league. Him, Grandal, and you know, Wilson Contreras, I'd say. Is right
he's good. He's really good.
But I mean, as I was going, I was more asking you, what the fuck happened with the Phillies? Why did they not meet the expectations? Because if you look at what they have, man, I mean, sure they're in a competitive division, but still that talent from top to bottom of the roster is top notch, man. What happened?
So, well, it starts totally with the management. Like, their front office are all clowns. And I'm just being like, the guy's name is literally McPhail, like that's his name, and he lives up to it. I mean, it's spelled with a PH, which is fitting because Philadelphia, but like still McPhail, like that's literally what he does. And his like,
is that the general manager?
No, general manager is Klentak. He's the president of operations, baseball operations. But anyway, those guys are like. They made great changes to the offense. Harper, Segura, McCutcheon got injured. Harper, Segura, Realmuto all were good on offense. Harper had a good year. He wasn't a superstar, but he had a good year.
Yep.
Rhys Hoskins also pretty good. Guys on offense were doing fine. Philly's offense was fine, but their pitching was just not good enough.
Yeah.
It just wasn't good.
You guys got who? Nola.
Aaron Nola is
Arrieta for part of the season.
Arrieta, who by the way is not a very good pitcher anymore.
Yeah.
And even
his prime might be behind him.
And now he's going to be out for the entirety. Well, I mean, this season got delayed, but he was out for a little while last season, and he was supposed to be out for the entirety of this season too with some elbow surgery. So you got Arrieta, who's kind of useless.
Yeah.
You got Aaron Nola, and then how about have you heard of?
Who's the next best? Pavetta?
No, Pavetta's garbage. Well, actually, he might be the next best, but he's trash. Pavetta, Cole Irvin was in the big. You ever heard of that guy? No, you haven't heard of that guy. Eflin. Who else? There's
Do they have Plesac or is he on the Indians? Am I mistaken?
Plesac is.
I think that's the Indians.
And then
son of Dan
their-
Plesac, I think.
Yep.
their bullpen needs Jesus. Like their closer was supposed to be Robertson, but then he sucked and then got injured because they signed him in the offseason too. He disappointed.
Yeah.
They had Ranger Suarez.
Yeah,
He's
I don't even know. I'm a baseball fanatic, and I don't know who the fuck you're talking about. So.
Just like a bunch of guys. Like I don't even know if it's worth going into all the names, but like
Probably not if you don't know
so
the
many
names,
of their
yeah.
pitching staff are just nobodies.
And pitching wins championships. That's shown by the Nationals.
And they this happened the last 2 years. Like the year before, their offense was actually not too bad either, but their pitching was awful.
Yeah.
Like Aaron Nola's an ace.
Absolutely.
He's really good.
Absolutely.
But you can't have one guy.
No.
You can't. And the manager, Gabe Kapler. That's the biggest reason. Like the players are gonna play, and like you've got to like let them out there to go compete. And like if they play like shit, then they play like shit, and that's just what happens. But Gabe Kapler is a god awful manager.
Yeah.
Like if you look at what happened with the team the last 2 years, right? This last season, the Phillies started off really hot. They swept the Braves in their opening day series, and then they won
Great
2 out of
season.
3 against the Nationals, the second series of the year.
Yep, good start.
And then they continued to play hot, and then they just kind of fell off. And eventually, the Braves just started to take over.
Yeah, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah, and then the Nationals got up behind them and took their spot too. And then eventually, the Mets were ahead of them. And it's just like it all I mean, they managed to stay ahead of the Marlins, but you know, if they hadn't, that would have been even more disastrous. But like the problem is that Gabe Kapler doesn't have control of the clubhouse. It happened last year too. They ended the season. Did you see the thing the year before last year? Carlos Santana walking into the clubhouse. Couple guys in the middle of a game were sitting in the clubhouse playing Fortnite on the fucking Xbox during the game.
Jeez.
He took a bat and smashed the TV in and like started yelling at them. But like Gabe Kapler didn't have the balls to go and do that. Like, he was just sitting there in the dugout, and, like, he loves analytics. And, like, I'm an analytics guy, too. But the way that he does...
guy, huh?
Yeah, you could say that. But the way that he does it is infuriating. He'll pull guys that are going hitless through 5 because he doesn't like the matchup in the next inning. And then the bullpen guy comes in and gets fucking lit up because that's what the bullpen does. Like, he just...
Now he's coaching the Giants.
He doesn't have... Like you said, he doesn't let the kids play.
Yeah.
He throws blame around, like he was talking about how when Bryce Harper's hitting we win and like stuff like that.
You can't put it on one player, man.
You can't do that. And he's like he doesn't have the last manager of the Phillies, not the last manager, sorry, the last one. Yeah, the last one that was like, there for a long time. Charlie Manuel. Yeah, he won in 2008. They had like Ryan Sandberg in between, but whatever. He was like the opposite. Like he was totally just like, go out there, hit the ball, have fun, go play. I'm not gonna pull you unless like I really need to.
Gotta have fun, man.
But Gabe Kapler is not like that. Like he stifles people's ability to play the game because he's so overbearing with his analytics, and he just doesn't allow them to be good. And
so on a change of pace, instead of talking so much shit about Gabe Kapler, what do you think about the new guy, Joe Girardi?
Joe Girardi, another legend. Like he. He's great. I mean, first off, I doubt it could be that much worse. And second off, like he's gonna do like much better things for the team in terms of his leadership, because he's not gonna be the guy that's like sitting over your like breathing over your shoulder like, hey, I need you to like go up there and like hunt this outside pitch. It's like, oh, you never make sure to work a count on this guy. It's just go hit the ball, you know? Mm-hmm. It's like go pitch, go hit, go play defense.
One thing I will say personally to attest to Joe Girardi, and really this is, well, number one, he's already won with the Yankees.
Yeah.
He's proven he's great with the Yankees, but one thing that I'd like to capitalize that is shown to be a very, very important thing for big league managers, or at least an advantage, is that Joe Girardi is a former catcher. And you could just tell that catchers really are honestly the people with the best IQ at the game of baseball. Because not only do you have to know everything you need to know as a plate approach as a hitter, you need to be able to handle a staff and call a game. Like a great example, Bruce Bochy was a catcher.
Bob Melvin too, right?
Bob Melvin was a catcher, exactly. Like some of the greatest managers in baseball right now are catchers. And those guys, their IQ is just far high and beyond. So
David Ross is going to start managing now, right?
Yeah, exactly. David Ross is for the Cubs, man. So a lot of it's been shown that a lot of these catchers are able to come up and
absolutely
And
have great things to do.
And speaking of Gabe Kapler, now he's the manager of the Giants. I want to give on a more serious note, big sincere fuck you to the Giants.
Amen.
I fucking hate those fucking
those guys
pussies.
suck.
I hate them.
I don't know.
Fuck the Giants.
Facts.
Where'd that come from, man?
The bottom of my goddamn heart. That's where it came from.
PJ is absolutely spitting right now.
Dude, I mean, you can't root for another team in the Bay Area, man.
I remember one time
You gonna root for the Giants?
I'm not gonna root for him, man, but I'm
Fuck
not gonna
the
hate him on
Giants.
that. That was ruthless, man.
Oh
That
man,
fucking
I
hurts.
remember this one time I was like 5. I was with my dad at a game. My dad hates the Giants too, and like there was this pie eating contest or something, right? And,
You would have started that now today. Bro, me and Satch would have killed that. We would have killed that.
Shut up. So it was like we were at a A's game. I think it was Bay Bridge series, and they had a pie eating contest. And it was an A's fan versus a Giants fan. We were starting. My dad's like, he can't eat that. It's not cake. Everybody around us heard it. And I thought that shit was so funny. And from that moment on, like that is part of what inspired me to hate the Giants. And then like I started watching them, I realized, wow, these guys are kind of bitches. And like their fans fucking suck.
I think it's more about the fans, because those years from 2010 to 2014 was a terrible. Even though we had good teams with Donaldson, Cespedes, it was a bad time to be an A's fan, man. Because no matter what you would say, oh, 1 ring, 2 ring. Giants fans, they love to brag about the success, but they don't remember the losses, man. It's a double-edged sword. You need to be able to embrace the bad times and love the good, but the Giants were selling out for such a long time when they're good. Where are they now? They're not selling out shit when they're losing 90 games.
It's like
kind of like the Niners.
All the dudes that work
Shut up. You shut up.
All of the dudes that work at Microsoft aren't showing up to the games anymore because they suddenly don't have time to go watch a team lose instead of win. Like it's just.
Meanwhile, the A's, no matter what, are not going to sell out the Coliseum.
Yeah, well, I mean, it happens when you play
Except
in
in the
the
wild card
game.
Except for wild card games, yeah. So what do you think about the A's this year, man? I mean, we're basically running it back with the same squad. You guys like the team this year?
Absolutely.
I think we're going to win the division, to be honest.
I think they're the best. This is the best edition of the A's I've seen in a long time. I think it's better than the teams in the in the early 10s.
Ooh.
I think so.
Ooh, I don't know, man. Those Donaldson, Moss, and Cespedes teams were nasty, man.
I think
Those
Brandon
four
Moss is a little bit overrated. Like, I get he had some heroics in that wild card game versus KC.
He hit dingers.
He did hit dingers, but
dingers.
I mean,
Matt Olson is a beast.
Matt Olson hits dingers. Chris Davis might start hitting dingers again, maybe.
I hope
never
so,
know.
man. He's going to figure it out.
Yeah, but like, no,
Bro,
the A's are stacked this year.
If Chris Davis was able to actually get it going last year, who knows, man?
I mean, he was batting 7th in our lineup, man. That's not. He went from the home run king to a guy who was.
Bob Melvin, who's like the most players manager out there, it was like he had no choice but to do it. Like he just couldn't justify it anymore.
Yeah,
it was getting really bad.
Absolutely,
but
man.
Hopefully,
especially when you got other guys in the lineup like Canna, who come out of nowhere and really starts hitting the shit out of the
fucking
ball.
Brown coming
Seth
in there
Brown,
and the spot.
Yeah, we're deep, man. Especially in the pitching staff too. I mean, you got Minaya, you got Luzardo, you got Montas coming back. Hopefully Puck can get it together. Fires, man. If we have that 5-man rotation, like I
Yeah,
Who's going to be the fifth starter in that rotation? That's all
probably,
guys that are middle and top of the rotation guys.
It's crazy because Fires was our number 1 guy for a while last year, and now he's going to be number 5.
Yeah, it went from Montas, and he got suspended.
Yeah.
Who's now throwing 100 miles an hour in bullpens, may I add?
Montas
that
is
guy
really,
throws gas.
really good.
That's what them roids will do to you.
The problem, I think, is that the A's just don't... I mean, if I was the A's, I wouldn't trust him anymore, because who knows if he gets suspended again.
I don't know about that, man. People can come back from that. People
true.
can absolutely come back from that. There are people who have had great careers after steroids. Not to justify steroids at all. I'm a steroid hater, but I mean, you got to give a guy a second chance, you know?
Yeah,
But,
for sure.
So, I think we've talked enough baseball, boys. What do you guys think about switching over to some basketball?
Sounds good.
All right, well, one thing that we went over last week that me and PJ had a little disagreement on is Embiid versus Jokic, man. And I'm sure that you take the side of Embiid being the better basketball player. What do you like about Embiid more than Mr. Joker?
So, okay, I want to preface this by saying that I do take Embiid's side, but it's not because I'm like some like biased, crazy fan. Like, I'm a little bit biased, but I also tend to really hate the Sixers a lot of the time because they piss me off. But, you know, in this case, Embiid is just the better player. Like, the defense on Jokic's side, it's just unplayable. It's so bad. If you watch his movement speed, he's so slow.
But you also have to realize that he has acknowledged the fact that he likes playing with the higher weight.
Just because he likes it better doesn't make him a better player.
No, I'm not saying I'm not trying to argue the
No,
defense.
no. He likes playing at a higher weight because he's lazy. That's what he likes.
Or he likes bodying people in the paint. You know, this is
he's not bodying. No, because he's not. He doesn't act. He's big and flabby, but he's not strong. Like he's not. Embiid is probably stronger than he. I can't say that for sure, but I'd assume that Embiid is a lot stronger than him because I mean, Embiid he's not a super athlete like I was saying earlier, but like he definitely is muscular. He's a big man, and if you put Embiid versus Jokic in a game, like if you see Sixers Nuggets, I mean the Sixers won both games against the Nuggets this year.
This is a point I was trying to make to PJ last week. If you take both of these guys away from their team, which team is going to do better?
And this is the point I made last week. Embiid is a big part of their. I mean, not to say Jokic isn't, but without
Jokic is the offense, man.
It's
Jokic
closer than you might think. If you take
guess.
Embiid out of the Sixers offense, they're really bad without him.
They are. That's because Ben Simmons can't fucking shoot.
No, it's because they have bad spacing, and it's because
Ben Simmons can't shoot.
Well, but still,
it
it's
goes hand in hand.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know. Well, it depends on who you replace Embiid with.
Well, my point is that we've seen talents like Embiid before, man. There have been centers who can drive to the rim, and he takes one 3-point shot at the top of the key. You tried to say that he's a better 3-point shooter, but I thought about this. Embiid's a better 3-point shooter from one spot on the floor, the top of the key. He can't shoot any other threes. Jokic can shoot the threes.
Numbers to back that up?
No, it's the eye test. It's not the numbers.
What the fuck are we even doing right here?
God,
what are we doing right here?
I'm telling you, it's the eye test.
What the fuck are we doing?
Okay, wait,
pull the numbers out of my ass. I'm sorry.
Wait. I want to say something about the eye test real quick, okay? The eye test is fucking stupid.
I'm sorry, do you not watch Sixers basketball?
No,
does he not take the same shot over and over again?
He does shoot at the top of the key.
Come on, fucking give him some credit.
Is that not a 3-point shot?
It is a 3-point shot, but it's the only 3-point shot he takes.
Who fucking cares? It doesn't matter. He's shooting a 3 and it goes in more often.
What I'm saying is that doesn't make him a better
shooting more
3-point
threes and going in more often.
Okay,
the difference is
the eye test. The eye test is like, okay, let me draw an analogy. Okay, it's like your doctor offers you 2 different pills, and you're like, oh, let me look at this one. This one looks better for me, so I'm just gonna fucking take it. Like, no, you do research, you find numbers, you do statistics. Like, which one is gonna fucking have side effects of death?
Going to the doctor's office is not the same thing.
Sam, that was one of the stupidest fucking things
No, it's
ever.
not. Okay. What I'm trying to fucking say is we've seen people like Embiid before, man. Like even like you could say in his prime,
He's not in his prime yet.
Can you let me get a fucking sentence out? I'm saying in his prime, even Embiid kind of plays like a prime Al Horford, you know, because Al Horford did like the same type of stuff. Now he's kind of had to change with age, but we've seen people like Embiid before.
Yeah.
In terms of like Jokic, you've never seen a center with the passing ability of Jokic
that
can
weighs
run
that
inside.
much.
Well, it's not about the fucking weight. It's about how he gets the offense.
Have we ever considered the fact that maybe there's a reason we've never seen somebody with that passing ability because it's not
that?
necessary? Like, because it's not required for a center to be able to pass like that.
That's true.
He has Jamal Murray.
Plus, I guess.
It's like
Jamal Murray's not going to be the guy who's taking it down the floor. I mean, like he's a shooting guard.
Defense as a center is a much bigger deal.
Jamal Murray can play point. He's capable of it.
Who runs point for them? Is Harris?
Gary Harris.
He's a point.
I think Gary Harris is playing point.
He's
Yeah.
a small forward.
No, but the idea of a passing big man is a great little like party trick you can throw in there. It's like, oh, look at me, I can do like little assists out of the post. But like, it's not as necessary. Like, I'd rather my center be able to grab 13 rebounds a game instead of 10 and get 3 less assists.
I mean, but the rebounding, they're right there. Like, both of them are. It's not like
Embiid averages 3 more a game.
No, I thought it was 1.8 or some shit.
Or something like that. If
No,
you look up the
Embiid
numbers,
averages
man,
13 something and Jokic averages
I just
like
looked
10
at the numbers
I
last
think.
episode. I can look that up.
It's close though. It's closer than you would think. I mean, that's my whole argument. Yeah, you could say Embiid is a better player in whatever he does, but Joker is doing things that we've never seen.
Yeah, Embiid's at 11.8. Jokic is at 10.2.
Oh, this season 11.8? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So see, it's not that big a difference. I mean, on any
Did you say
given night, it
10.2
could
or
be more.
11.2?
It could be more or less.
10.2.
10.2. Okay.
I think whatever I think we beat this one in the ground.
Yeah.
I want to move on to a different comparison. This is going back. Last week we were talking about the
player
first
rankings,
take.
yeah.
Yeah, the first take player rankings. This week more has come out with James Harden at 6 and my boy Steph Curry at 5. What do you think about that? And what do you think about that? I'll let you guys
You
talk.
wanna go
before I
first?
do.
Yeah, sure. I'll go first. I think it's a good one. I think Steph Curry is a better basketball player than James Harden. He did more to revolutionize the game. Like, Steph Curry completely reinvented the game of basketball, along with Klay Thompson, granted. But, like, and
Along with
Curry,
Steve Kerr.
Curry's a winner. Harden's not. Like, Harden doesn't have a ring. He doesn't. And, like, I know that rings aren't everything, but they matter.
Yeah.
And the reason that a lot of people don't get credit for stuff is because they don't have rings. Like, if you don't... He is a playoff choker. He is. Like, that's what he does. He's done it multiple years. And that... You just... I mean, I can't see how you could justify putting him above Curry, who's somebody who doesn't choke in the playoffs.
Well,
I swear to God,
just
if you said
because-
one thing about fucking Finals MVPs, I swear to
Yeah.
God. I swear to God.
what I was actually going to say was, if you can name, or just because Steph Curry shoots the ball farther than James Harden, he shoots it better, does not make him a better overall player. And just because he changed the game more with his 3-point shooting, that does not make him a better player.
Crack?
That doesn't make him a better
crack?
player.
You smoke? Crack? Why do you think, why do you think James Harden?
If you can name one thing he does better than James Harden, except for shooting the basketball.
But that's the entire point. He shoots the basketball better.
Here's one thing I will say for Steph Curry.
Steph Curry goes off screens every play.
But look, Steph Curry creates so many fucking shots off ball, and he does that better than anyone else in the league.
Yeah, his off-ball movement is
He
really
he will
fantastic.
pass the fucking ball. He'll run under the baseline, run.
You didn't
laps
answer
around
my
his
question.
defender. I just did answer your question. You said one thing, and I said off ball.
All right.
Fucking,
But that's because James Harden can create his own shot one-on-one. Steph Curry is not.
And then he
close to
misses.
this.
are
like,
you telling me
bro.
that Steph Curry can't break a man's ankle and knock down a shot?
Okay. Are you trying to tell me that this season?
I'm telling you that Steph Curry's a better basketball player.
Are you
than
telling
Harden.
me
That's what I'm
that this
telling you.
year, right now,
This year, Steph Curry was on
right
the
now,
fucking injury
right
list.
now, Steph Curry's better than James Harden?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
You went,
100 billion.
he didn't have
fucking
close to
percent.
the help he had in previous years, and he didn't do shit with
He
it.
played like 2 games.
That's not true.
He
That's
played
not
like
true.
3 or 4. How many games did he play before going down with injury? You can look this shit up.
He played. I remember because they had like 3 games and then he went down. He went
Literally.
down versus the
And then he
Pelicans,
came-
right?
And then he came back like for like another 2 or 3 and had a couple good games, and the season got shut down. So you can't say that
Bro.
because the sample size is so small. You could say the same thing about James Harden. James Harden went through an incredible shooting slump this
Right.
season to the point where
Trust
Russell
me,
Westbrook
dude,
had to
but
drop 35 a night to save
I
his
became
ass.
so frustrated with James Harden. I drafted that man on my fantasy team, and his fucking field goal percentage was so bad.
I'm talking
Like,
about
Steph
fantasy
Curry
basketball.
and
You're
the-
talking
I'm
about real
I'm
basketball.
talking about real basketball, but I'm just saying, like,
In the women,
it was like,
listen, in the limited games Steph Curry did play, I'll give you, it's limited, small sample size. He shot 24% from the 3, and you
How
can
many
say
games?
5.
Well, that's
5
also,
games.
Well, that's also because
Bro,
he had
but
no one
still.
else fucking to help him at all.
Exactly.
Any type of
James
shot.
Harden is doing it basically by himself.
Have you ever heard of
Russell-
a man named Russell Westbrook?
Bro, but
Have you-
he's creating his own shot.
God. Have you ever heard of a man named Chris Paul before Russell Westbrook? Have you
Oh
ever
my
heard of
God,
men named
dude.
Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook on the same
Serge
team?
Ibaka,
He's always.
Are you
had
telling
help.
me
He's
that
always
Steph
had
has
help.
not had more help than James Harden?
That's not what I'm saying.
Okay,
I'm saying
but
he's a
look.
better basketball player.
When Steph Curry was the main guy, he won 1 finals.
What do you mean win? He still is. Oh, has been. I guess Kevin
No,
Durant
KD
too
was
for-
better than
yeah,
Steph.
Yeah, all right. I'll give you
And he only beat LeBron because Kyrie and Kevin Love went down. You're not about to. Are you about to tell me
boy.
that's wrong?
Yes.
How?
That's subjective, bro.
It's
still a
really
4-1
subjective.
seed, bro. That's so hard to say. Because, I mean, Kevin...
Well, they went 6 and LeBron
Kevin
had
Love
nobody.
and Kyrie were healthy the third year, and they got beat that year. The fourth year doesn't really count because LeBron went with the absolute shit team.
Bro.
So I actually give a lot of credit to LeBron for even getting that team.
No.
That's certainly
What
like
are you
Iman
talking about?
Shumpert and J.R. Smith.
They played each other twice without KD. And they won once when they the Cavs won once when they blew 3-1, and the Warriors won once when they didn't have Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving.
I don't care, man. Why is that argument saying versus James Harden and Steph Curry? James Harden has not made a finals with the Rockets. James Harden actually had a 3-1. No, it wasn't a 3-1 lead. He had a 3-2 lead against the Warriors. I guess part of that reason that they lost that Western
Chris Paul got hurt.
Chris Paul went hurt. But he had the chance.
But he's the main guy, right? He's supposed to do it. Like,
Exactly.
But that's when they had KD.
So what we can make the exact same argument that you just made about Steph having no help. James Harden didn't have help without Chris Paul in that game, and did he get it done? No.
Right, but
basketball's a team game. It takes 2 to 10.
Exactly. So when Steph Curry's not close to as good when he's individual. And James Harden's a lot better than Steph Curry individually.
What else?
Why are you taking rings, which is a team statistic?
What is James Harden better at Steph Curry at?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Drawing fouls. He's a better defender, even though there was a bunch of memes about it.
I'll give you defender. He is the better defender.
He's a lot better at drawing fouls. He's a better driver of the basketball.
He's not a better finisher, better driver, but not a better finisher.
What?
In terms of layup package, not a better finisher.
Don't look at me. You're fucking wrong.
Bro, what?
What are you trying to? Just because
Bro.
he doesn't mean he's gonna fucking agree with you.
I'm just saying, that made no sense to me. Just
lot of
because
shit
his
doesn't make
layups
sense to
look
you.
better.
It's
You
not
said
about how-
you said a layup package. His layups.
He's
look
better at driving, sure. Okay, but Steph Curry's also a way better passer.
I disagree.
It's pretty close, but
I
Steph
disagree.
Curry creates a lot of shots for his teammates.
So does James Harden. He creates more.
The only reason why James Harden creates more is because he's the fucking main attraction that they're trying to go towards him. That's why he creates more. It's less about his passing ability. It's more about a decoy.
Are you seriously using that as a reason why James Harden's not better than Steph Curry?
No, I'm saying you already heard why I think Steph Curry's better. I'm now.
You guys are also biased.
biased.
You got a fucking Warriors jersey on.
I do have a Warriors jersey on, but Steph Curry, like Santos said, is changing the game's basketball. James Harden tries
And
to do
he's
the same thing,
James Harden's
and
a
he
better
misses fuck ton
rebounder.
of shot- Okay, yeah, he is a better rebounder, sure. But what I'm saying, everything that Steph Curry does, even
James Harden,
does not
in my
do
opinion,
more
is a better scorer than Steph Curry.
I'm done.
At least for Stephen A.
I'm leaving. I'm going.
I don't understand why that's an outrageous claim. Like, if someone wants to tell me,
he averages more points per game, but on a really
not-
bad percentage and a lot more
bro,
shots.
he's not as efficient, but he gets to the line
He's
so much
nowhere
more.
near efficient. Nowhere.
Not even
because
close.
he takes so many shots away from his fucking team in
Bro.
so many possessions. Sure, he'll make a fucking couple and shoot whatever, like 40% on a good
Bro,
night
but what
from
makes
three.
James
But-
Harden so good is the ability to get to the line so often.
Okay, so half his points come from fucking free throws. Sure, he could
But
do
that
but
goes into scoring the ball.
That's different than being an actual fucking on the floor in play great shooter. Sure, Steph doesn't attract the same fouls, but from natural fucking basketball, shooting 2s and 3s, not from the free throw line, Steph is a far superior scorer. Far. But if you want
shooting,
if you want to factor in free throws, I could almost kind of understand that claim, but that's not close.
Well, free throws.
First off, I
it's
think
not
you're
like-
kind of smoking rocks the fact that you walked
already
off for that claim. Like,
I
that
already
was an
said we were
outrageous
smoking crack.
claim.
Now you want to bring it back on me, man? Come on. You
Bro,
smoke.
okay,
the fact that you would walk off to think that was an outrageous
let's
claim is
not
kind of
just-
ridiculous.
The free throw thing is valid. Like, scoring the ball off free throws doesn't make you a worse basketball player. But, like, Sam's right. Steph Curry doesn't do that. Like, his shooting ability is just superior to James Harden's. And that
No one's
is
disputing that.
But that's why he's a better scorer. He just shoots better.
But is that the
Period.
only thing that goes into scoring?
No,
It's a
but
lot
that's
of it.
the
It's a lot
the
of it.
whole
It's the
point of the game. The
majority.
whole point
Putting
of
the
game
ball
is
in
it's
the
a
basket
three-point
is what
shot
scoring
game.
is.
Yeah, and today's game it revolves around the three-pointer, and Steph
does.
is the best three-point shooter of all time.
Okay, but look, James Harden averages almost 15 points per game more than Steph Curry.
Okay, that's because he fucking plays
'Cause he
a
gets to the
selfish
line
brand
more.
of basketball, and he's getting
He
the
gets to
fixes
the line
assist.
more.
He takes so many more shots
Bro,
and draws so many more fouls. Yes,
Like
you're right.
you could say whatever you want about discrediting the rings, but you could also you have to think about the brand of basketball that each plays, man. Steph Curry
Absolutely.
plays a great team game, and he doesn't always have to be the guy. He could fucking dish it to Klay Thompson, and he could be the guy.
Bro.
James Harden will
Mike's
take
in there.
so many. It doesn't fucking
Oh,
matter. It's
alright.
been here the whole time. But James Harden will take so many shots, and I'm sure he'll win some games for his team. But James Harden also single-handedly loses games for his team by taking too
And
many
he also
shots.
single-handedly wins games for his team.
That's literally what I just said. Did you not hear that?
I know, but you can't. Steph Curry. Are you gonna tell me Steph Curry's never gone 1 for 17 or some bullshit
No,
like that?
everyone does. That's basketball.
James Harden's missed the most threes in a game of all time. So
Bro, but
Steph
still.
Curry's
He's
never
had
done
some of
that.
the worst stretches of basketball.
Yeah,
Bro.
when his shooting numbers look like 2 days,
Even when
like
he's not-
like 3 or 4.
Even when he's not shooting efficiently, he's still getting 30-plus points because he's getting to the line so often. He's getting so many free throws.
Yeah.
You can say what he wants about his field goal percentage. I don't give a fuck if you're shooting bad, but you're getting to the line 20 times a game and making 18 to 19 of those free throws.
Okay, well then, if you want to talk about better scorers, like think about somebody who's getting to the line 10 or 11 times a game and scoring 23% on 56% shooting. Like, is that person a better basketball player than Harden?
I don't know. It depends on what else they can do. Because besides scoring, which I think James Harden's better at than Steph Curry, you think Steph Curry's better. James Harden's better passer and better rebounder.
He's not a
better
better passer.
defender.
He's
I think he's a better passer.
rebounder. No, he's not.
I think he is a
No,
better
he's not.
passer.
No, he's fucking
Why not?
Because Steph Curry makes so many shots for his guys.
That's not passing.
It is passing, bro.
Bro, James Harden...
Passing,
they,
off-ball
no,
movement, all of that. It's under the same. It's in the
is.
same bucket. It's
Yeah,
Bro,
like-
James Harden, the Rockets
Team play.
literally play small ball. They play ISO ball, drive in, kick it out to the corner, and do that. Is that not creating a shot for your teammate? Driving in, forcing them to
You
help?
also have to
Kicking it to PJ Tucker in the
again,
corner?
I'm going back to the brand of basketball.
like his entire
bro.
job,
The
just sit in the
fuck-
corner and shoot.
That
Like,
literally is... Bro,
He
James
doesn't
Harden
move.
literally has to create all the shots for his teammate.
Yeah, because he runs it down the floor. Yeah,
But,
sure.
bro, is that not creating the shot for his teammate?
I guess in a sense, but
we need to move on.
move on, man. I don't want to beat a dead horse in the ground. Do we want to stay on basketball? I understand that you wanted to talk a little bit about Ben Simmons.
I do.
man.
I want to.
Ben
I want to
Simmons
clear
is
his
a guy
name.
who's got a lot of hate. So
Yeah.
say what you got on your chest about Ben Simmons.
I mean, he's just really underrated.
Really good defender.
Yeah, he's a fantastic defender. He's the he should be first team all defense if they end up having those this year if we resume. And he leads the league in steals, which isn't everything, but he leads the league in steals. And his passing is fantastic. His rebounding is really fantastic. Like for a point guard, especially. I know he's not a true point guard, but it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And the team plays a lot better when he's on the floor.
It's true.
Their numbers, his plus minus is always really high. Usually he leads the team. But yeah, him and Embiid need to be on the floor together. And like the narrative that him and Embiid together is a bad fit is not true. Him and Embiid and Al Horford together is a bad fit. But him and Embiid together has always worked well.
Are you going off the numbers? Or
I hate
the
that.
eye test?
I'm going off of the numbers. I don't use the fucking eye test. I'm going off of the offensive rating that's like through the roof when you have Embiid, Simmons, Harris, and Josh Richardson on the floor together without Al Horford.
I hate that the media just pushes out these narratives and everyone just believes them right fucking away.
That's true, man. The media controls way.
Bro,
too
it's
much.
like
Way
it's the
too
same
much.
thing with Westbrook. Like he had triple doubles 3 years in a row, and after the first year, no one talked about it, and all of a sudden he became a worse point guard because no one talked about it. So
He also
He
became
did
a worse
kinda-
point guard
he did
because
kinda get
he lost
babied by
his shooting
Damian
touch as
Lillard.
well. Yes, he did.
I mean, in that
was-
one shot,
was- Night,
that
baby,
was
good night.
entertaining.
I'd
When
say
you guys
Paul
are talking-
George kind of got babied by Damian Lillard since he was the one who's guarding him.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
that's
say Russell Westbrook got babied.
Yeah, but the
Because
guys
head to
who played
head, they
Damian-
always put up. They both have really good games every single
But
time.
before we move
They
on,
go up
there's
against
one
Damian
thing-
Lillard is cold.
He
I love
is
Dame, but
cold.
I
we
love
were
Russell
talking
Westbrook
about that
too.
a little bit too, man. The Dame Russ last week.
He's gonna go with Dame because he's a Dame fan.
Yeah,
I
I'm a
I would
fan
take
too,
Dame
bro.
over Russ any day.
It's tough.
One time I tried to tell PJ I like Dame more than James Harden, and he lost his shit.
Yeah, that's a little hard. But
Anyway,
one thing I
Simmons,
will say about Ben Simmons is a lot of people like to jump the ship. This guy's been in the league for what? He basically had a redshirt year, and he's played is 3 years now.
This is his third.
Third year. He's still 24 years old. Like, obviously, a point guard in today's NBA, the ability to shoot is big, and he can't do that. But he has so much time to develop that. Y'all, wait up on the Ben Simmons hate. This dude is one of the rising stars in the league. The process is a young-ass team. Anything can happen. Am I right?
Yeah, you're mostly right. However, I think that the shooting thing, like, it could happen, but it's probably not going to happen.
You also got to be able to play to your strengths, man. That's
Yeah,
a big part
it's
of
true.
basketball as well.
And I think that obviously there are some things that are holding him back. Like, I think Brett Brown is, in terms of, like, Brett Brown is, his heart is in the right place, I think, where, like, he tries to defend Simmons to the media, because Philadelphia media is ruthless.
Yeah.
Like, it's really bad. But he tries to defend Simmons to the media. He's like, look, man, the kid's amazing and he's working really hard and all that. But I think that he's giving him a little bit of wiggle room with that. And if he were to not do that, it would be better. And Simmons, not in his defense, the opposite of his defense, he is soft. Like, he is
I think the team is soft.
No.
Embiid's soft, too. You telling me Embiid's not soft?
Mike Scott is not soft.
Mike
Do not put that. You said the
Scott
team.
is not soft.
You said the team. The Sixers as a whole are not
All right,
soft.
fair enough. Mike Scott's
Mike
not
Scott's-
soft, bro.
Mike Scott's
You got
a
into that
fucking
fight
man.
At the
Yeah.
Redskins game. He's not soft, bro. I'll give you that. Mike Scott is
That
not
was
soft.
okay. That was actually really terrible. The Redskins game. That was
You
like.
tell me what happened there.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, Mike Scott is so it was Eagles Redskins, right? Mike Scott's a Washington guy. He's a Redskins fan. He went to the game wearing the Redskins jersey. There was a crowd of dipshit Eagles fans, my people,
Like
right?
yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And they had had a little tailgate, and they had they did this. I think it's kind of funny, but like they brought out like a casket and they put a symbol of the Washington Redskins on the casket, and they put like a little tent over it, and were like at like the funeral for the Redskins before the game, and then of course they won because the Redskins are awful, but And then Mike Scott saw it, and then some fucking asshole ran up to him and started some shit with like this 6'10" NBA player, because Eagles fans are maniacs. And
They don't
then
care, man. They just
Mike
see red.
Scott handled it well. He didn't start anything.
He handled him.
Yeah, well, Mike Scott only retaliated, and not that much, by the way. He was pretty chill about it in terms of like the fact he just got attacked by like a group of men. But he kept on walking because that's to be expected. But then one of the guys ran up behind him and just sucker punched him. He just ran up behind him and like punched him, like out of nowhere.
Never
It
know
was
what's gonna
so
happen at the
fucked.
link.
Yeah, you never know. If you go to Lincoln Financial Field, you need to be ready to die. Like it's just you don't have an insurance of living. It's just not
I think
gonna happen.
this might be a good time to transition to
Wait, hold on. I got one more claim.
Oh,
and
Jesus, here we go.
I don't.
That should be good.
Buckle your
I think-
seatbelts, everybody. Here we go.
Our team's point guards are the two most underrated point guards in the league, in my opinion.
Mhm.
I think
Those two teams?
Lonzo and Ben Simmons are the two most underrated point guards in the league.
Lonzo.
What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, show him the jersey. Show him the jersey.
can't see it.
I don't think we can.
stand up. And
Well,
see
if I
it.
stand
it's
up, I'm
number
gonna be out of the
two, it's
frame.
number two.
It's
You
backwards,
think so?
bro.
Yeah, I don't think that's how my jersey when I stood up either. But yeah, number one, Mike Scott. It's signed by Norvell Pell. Do you guys know who that is by any chance?
I do not.
Like,
Wasn't he the
fourth-
dude who dropped like 30 on the
No,
Clippers?
show y'all my
he's
jersey
never
too,
dropped.
man.
That was Shake Milton.
Oh,
Shake Milton's a stud.
Yes, sir. Yes,
But
sir.
Norvell Pell's like the fourth string center for the Sixers. He's not very good at basketball. I'm not gonna lie, but I fuck with him. He's cool.
But he made the league, man.
No, he made the league and he's a cool dude. And he's a big leaper and he can block shots, but he gets kind of torn up and.
Oh, well, he got dunked on. I forget by who.
Every center gets dunked.
Yeah,
on.
it happens to
If
every.
you're doing
No,
your
but it was
job,
like a
he's-
star
he's
player.
blocked-
Though. It was a star player.
No,
though,
but
I
he's
mean.
blocked his fair share of
Yeah.
star players too. So it goes around and comes around.
I hate that narrative that just because you get dunked on. in the
LeBron
NBA
gets
is a
dunked
big
on.
man.
Everyone gets dunked
Yeah,
on.
If you're doing your job,
Steph
you're going to
Curry's
get
been
dunked
dunked
on
on.
because I'd rather
James
get
Harden's been
dunked on
dunked on.
than not contest in the
Yeah,
first
if
place.
a guy you'd rather like an Aaron Baines type. I hate the Celtics. He's not on the Celtics
I fucking
anymore.
hate Aaron Baines in particular.
Really?
Fuck Aaron Baines.
You know that was not
He looks
that was not
Amish. He looks
intentional
like
though.
an
I'm not
Amish
gonna
man.
lie, bro. Like that was not intentional. Warriors fans were saying that when he fell on Curry's hand, it was intentional. That was bullshit.
No. I just hate Aaron Baines because he looks Amish.
I didn't even know about that. What happened? He fell in Curry's
That's
hand.
how
That's
he
how he
broke
got
his
hurt.
hand.
Oh, I thought he broke his hand versus the Pelicans.
No, he broke his hand versus the
Oh.
Suns.
Yeah. Just pretty stupid considering that wasn't even supposed to be a fucking game in the first place. But whatever. Anyways, I think this is a good time to transition to Satchel, the Eagles fan. In the last couple of years, man, Eagles team of destiny won that Super Bowl. Absolutely
Big Dick Nick.
no one before that season could have predicted that the Eagles were going to be that good.
Not at all.
Absolutely nobody. Would you, if you were the GM of the Eagles, would you have rode with Nick Foles?
Ooh. Well, okay. So you got to think about this, right? Because Nick Foles was on the team once before his stint with them, so he's played on the team twice.
Right.
And
And that first stint went pretty well.
the first 10 went okay, yeah.
He threw 7 touchdowns in a game.
Yeah, no, well, okay, yeah, he had that game, but he's never gonna be good enough to be a starting quarterback on a team that's actually gonna win. Like he had that playoff run that was great, but
Then he got you in the
That's debatable,
playoffs
man. I
in
don't
20.
know.
no, like
Bro,
it's hard to have faith.
Nick
in him,
Foles is
all I'm
only
saying.
a starting caliber starting quarterback with the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else, he's dog shit, but with the Eagles, he's nice.
It's true, which is actually surprising because the Eagles' offensive weapons are really not anything good.
Well, you got a new receiver. You got Jalen Hurts. You know, your
You
depth
didn't
chart.
get Justin Jefferson.
You know, you're shut up. Hey, his depth chart reads Wentz hurts.
Yes, it does. That's a really original joke,
Ironic.
PJ.
But
I saw it on
anyways,
the
to
main
answer the
page.
question, would you or would you have not re-signed Wentz and got rid of Foles? Who would
I
you
mean,
have taken?
it's just like I have my problems with Carson Wentz, but it's really hard to argue that Nick Foles is better than him because I mean,
The
Wentz,
potential for Wentz is there. It's there.
We've seen him put the team on his back before, and it doesn't happen as much anymore. And like a lot of Eagles fans are like preparing for the fact that he might be a bust, and to be honest, I am too. But I mean, I'm not sure if we're quite there yet.
It's still, how old is he?
I don't know.
25, 26 maybe? Does that sound
Probably,
right?
yeah.
Probably halfway through his 20s.
Yeah.
In my opinion, like, there's just something off about like Wentz's game. Like, I feel like he makes some highlight plays, he scramble out in prolonged plays, but I feel like he just doesn't consistently drive down the field enough. Like, that might be because of his offensive weapons, but like he might make some cool plays. It just doesn't happen. I don't know why, but it just doesn't.
One thing I will say about the Eagles,
Doesn't
though,
put
that I'm
points
really
up.
excited about, Miles Sanders is the real
Miles
deal.
Sanders is good.
He is the real deal, bro.
It's like Darren Sproles.
I think Miles Sanders is comparable to Christian McCaffrey in the sense that he's a new wave running back who is able to do it all in the passing, running game, all of it, man. He's
good.
real fucking deal. That guy, shout out Miles Sanders. In a couple years, that dude is going to be on top. I'm calling it right now. Miles Sanders.
He's
real
not going to be
fucking
on
deal.
top because Christian
Not on
McCaffrey's
top,
going to be
obviously,
on top.
but he has potential, I think, in this league to be a top 5 running back.
Miles Sanders is a
some
very
point.
very good running back. I think that was really clear last year as well.
Derrick Henry's
you know
still
who-
going to be on top. Derrick.
You know who else is really good? You know, Boston Scott.
He's solid. I like him. I like Boston Scott. He's
Boston
shifty.
Scott.
He's a good red zone back.
He
He'll
was-
get in that end zone.
He was practice squad for the majority of his career, and then he got called up.
You gotta
after-
respect
af-
guys like that.
After
Like most of
everybody got injured, like the
Yeah.
entire team got injured, he got called up, and he played his ass off. He's quick. He's small. You want a Darren Sproles comparison?
Yeah.
You want Boston Scott like that? He's like, what's up, Shama?
We're not cutting that out, by the way. That's staying in there.
Anyway, no, Boston Scott's good. Like he's not a star or anything, but he's a good little player. So you know, there's a couple bright spots, but yeah, the Jalen Hurts thing is a debacle in my opinion. That was bad.
Tough, man. They
I don't
could've
know
gone
why
many
you
different
did
ways
that.
with that. Could have gone something in the secondary to help out Slay. Could have gone, maybe an offensive line backup piece after Jason Peters getting old and all.
Absolutely.
Lane Johnson's still really good.
Lane Johnson's
I love
very,
Lane
very
Johnson.
good, very good, and Kelsey. The offensive line pieces are still there.
Yeah.
So
If everybody hadn't gotten injured.
let me
last
ask
year,
you
I
another
suppose.
question. Instead of Wentz versus Foles, Wentz versus Dak. Are we all in
come
agreement?
on.
The fact that Dak turned
Dak
down $40 million,
Prescott. I
you got
mean,
some fucking nerve.
You can't like that guy. Like it's just it's so difficult because some of the antics is
Not only is he a cowboy, but he's a fucking
All of his
he's a fucking
stats coming
prima donna
down.
cowboy too. Like
God.
he
Like, I'm just gonna run this over you. How in the fucking hell are you gonna try to request? First of all, he turned down $35 million, which is far and beyond more than he should get. Why are you asking for $40 million when
seriously.
you have a great team, a top 10 defense, one of the top 5 O-lines in the league, one of the best running backs, a number 1 wide receiver, and you go 2-6 versus over 500 teams, go 8-8 and lose to a team that went 9-7?
Yeah.
He had his chance in Week 16 against your Eagles at home to lock up the
No, it was
division.
at
and he
Eagles.
couldn't do it. It
Eagles?
was at Link.
Excuse
yeah.
me, but doesn't matter.
first-
He had his chance to
They didn't
prove
put
it.
up any. They put up like 9 points.
Yeah,
He had his chance to prove it, and he fucking didn't.
That game, the Eagles actually managed to show up, and I was shocked. I didn't see it coming, but
Was it more the Eagles showing up, or was it fucking Dak
They-
not showing
the
up?
it was
Eagles
also
D-line
Lincoln
is good.
Financial Field. Like that
Yeah,
helps.
that helps a lot. It's true.
But yeah, no, Dak Prescott. It's really easy to talk shit about him because he
2-6.
is.
Imagine-
2-6.
Imagine being the most average quarterback in the league and turning down $40
He
million.
lost to
and
the,
like
to
the
the
fact
0-4 Jets in Week 5.
Right, and like the fact that you're gonna turn that down, especially coming from Jerry Jones, who by the way is fucking evil. Like Jerry
man.
Jones is like insane,
You
and
want to
he-
talk about crack smoke, man? God.
and like don't fucking play with him. Like
hate him.
take the offer, like take the money. It's
Andy
just- it's
Dalton,
not
watch.
that hard.
Hey, if he turns down 45, Andy Dalton's their Week 1 starter.
Man,
Well,
watch.
you can't
he's
offer
not
him
gonna, he's
more.
not going to turn down. He's not going to get another offer.
Yeah.
Watch,
I mean-
if he gets hurt and Andy Dalton plays out, oh boy, he's in trouble. he is in trouble.
Yeah, bro. Remember, this
They're
is the same
looking for
this
any
could be-
excuse to get rid
This
of
is the
him.
same
They'll take
situation as
anybody.
Nerlens Noel with the Dallas Mavericks. I don't know if you guys know this, but like 3 or 4 years ago, he was offered a max contract. Nerlens fucking Noel was offered a max contract, and he turned it. No, it was like $3 million off from a max contract. He turned it down because he wanted the max, and they didn't offer him another contract.
And now he's not.
And now he's nowhere.
It's
Is he
ridiculous.
even in the league?
Yeah, he's in the league.
He's in the league, but
He's on the Thunder.
yeah, but now
Oh,
he's
that's
nowhere,
right.
getting a lot less money because he thought he was hot shit.
But this
Hey,
is,
I mean,
this,
he gambled on himself. I mean, you got to give him a little bit of credit, right?
Yeah.
But like,
But still,
you
You
got to
gotta
be
be able to bet on
realistic
yourself,
too. Yeah.
But I mean, this kind of ties back into to the Blake Snell thing we were talking about earlier. You know, like to a certain degree, you have to realize you're doing the thing that you love. If you didn't make it to the NFL, NBA, or MLB, you could be stuck in a fucking cubicle in an office job from 9 to 5 doing something you hate.
Or even
working
worse,
for
you
some
could be
dipshit boss.
like in serious poverty. Like
Yeah.
it's just
And on top of that, you're making far and beyond more money than anyone playing anything that they love should be. So why can't you just take the fucking money?
absolutely.
Exactly.
It doesn't make sense to me. I just can't wrap my head around it. I can't.
I mean, yeah, you always want more, right? Like you can never have enough, especially when you think about the mindset of an athlete, right? Like you want to always be hungry, and like
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
can carry off the field into like contracts and money. It's like I want more money, I want more everything, and so I mean it's understandable. You can't hold it against them for wanting more, but like
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's
Granted,
up to
also
him.
a lot of athletes, don't come from much. So yeah, I get that you want to get paid, but like to a certain extent, you got to draw the line and just play the game you love.
For sure. And, like, it is his personal choice. It sure as hell doesn't hurt me if he turns down a $35 million contract. I could fucking care less. Like, he's not that good anyway. It's either him or Andy Dalton. I don't give a fuck which one of
Actually,
them they
I
throw
think you'd
against.
want him to take the $40 million, so then they wouldn't have any money to pay anybody else.
Yeah, imagine
that's true.
re-signing Leighton Vander Esch in a couple years, who's one of the greatest uprising middle linebackers in the league. Psh, nope. Re-signing DeMarcus Lawrence after his franchise year. Psh, nope. Re-signing any franchise.
You chose Dak
O-lineman.
Prescott over all those dudes.
Like if in the event that they
Andy
do
Dalton isn't
sign
going to
him,
ask for shit. That's for
exactly.
sure.
In
He
the
was out of a
event that
job.
They sign him for that much money, they're gonna have to completely rebuild from the draft and live on rookie contracts.
and they're not going to win for another 50 years. 'cause of the
Cowboys.
I will say CeeDee Lamb, great draft pick.
Everything,
draft pick.
anything, and everything that can
I
go
wanted
wrong will go wrong, as Stephen A. says.
Not
Oh,
to
man,
bring
I
up-
want to see Stephen A. in his Saints jersey again, walking down in front of all those Cowboys
Hey,
fans.
hey,
Bro, Dak Prescott put up 9 against the Saints without Drew Brees, and they lost.
Jesus.
They lost to the Saints with all those weapons without Drew Brees.
Teddy B.
I mean, Teddy B played good, but he did take that terrible sack that
Well,
almost cost us
Here's
the game.
I want to raise a different question. Getting off the hatred of Dak Prescott, because I think we've established that we don't like that guy. Do you guys think there is any quarterback in the league right now worth $40 million a year?
Mahomes,
Patrick
Lamar,
Mahomes.
and Russell Wilson are the only 3.
That's
in my opinion.
spot on.
Like-
I think maybe not even
not even-
Russell Wilson.
I'd say maybe not at Lamar. I think he's got to do more to prove himself.
He just won the MVP. There's
He
not.
did, and he's changing the game. It's kind of like Joker. He's changing the game.
Bro, but here's the
actually,
thing.
Michael
Here's-
Vick did it
here's the
first.
thing.
Vick did it first.
Once Mahomes gets $40 million, that's gonna raise the standard up to $40 million for other quarterbacks. And
True.
if you're
no,
saying,
true.
if
Every single one gets paid more.
everyone's gonna get paid more and more and more, right?
Yep.
And
Have
so
your kid be an NFL quarterback. I swear to God, man.
everyone's gonna get paid more and
Basketball
more
isn't
and
too
more.
bad either.
If you're gonna tell me Lamar Jackson does not deserve to be paid as one of the highest quarterbacks in the league, then you're smoking because.
Yeah, I guess. But
Because
when you want him to
Next thing you know, I love Matthew Stafford, but next thing you know, someone like Matthew Stafford is going to come along and get $40 million. Then Lamar Jackson's going to get he's going to
second
get.
favorite.
here's what I'm gonna say.
I love the Lions, but I feel so bad for them all the time. Like they never win.
The
anything.
last playoff win is in 19.
They couldn't even do anything with Megatron.
Yeah, it's sad. And Barry Sanders wasted 2 great careers of all times. But here's what I'm gonna say: is the only quarterback I'd pay. I'm not denying Russ or Lamar's greatness. Both of them are so good and so talented in different ways.
Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league.
That's the only quarterback I'd give $40 million right now because look, here's what he's done.
But at the same time, even if he is the best in
Can
the
I
league,
fucking
wait, I'm just
finish?
saying. I'm posing a question to you. Even if he is the best quarterback in the league, does anyone deserve to be paid $40 million?
Well,
that's
that was
the
the
whole
original
point.
question,
That's
yeah.
that's what we're talking.
But here's what I gotta say about Mahomes. He's done 3 years, going into 4, and he's gonna get his 5th year option, right? So, year 1, he takes the back seat to Alex Smith and learns a lot. From that, it shows that he's a
Backseat to
great
Alex.
team player. He shows that he can learn and he's coachable.
Did he really have a choice? Because he was kind of drafted
He
there.
didn't have a choice, but I mean, a lot of other quarterbacks in the same situation wouldn't have handled it that well.
Right.
Year 2 comes out and breaks the touchdown record and wins MVP.
Not touchdown record.
Oh no, that's
Peyton
right.
Manning
Peyton
at
Manning had it. He was
55.
close. He was like second, but he
Bro.
came out and had an MVP season. Third year comes out and wins a Super Bowl. No quarterback ever through their first 3 years has had a resume that polished.
And by the way, he did not
Never.
deserve that Super Bowl MVP. I'm just putting
he
that out
shouldn't.
there.
Damian
Williams had 150 yards and 2 touchdowns, and
robbed.
Mahomes had a
And he had the
78 passer
finisher.
rating.
And he had 2 picks.
I mean, QB, the team that wins Super Bowl, it's like you're
Bro,
favorite, but
Without Tyreek Hill, they're not winning. They're not getting back in that game because he just chucked it up to Tyreek.
He burnt Sherm. He burned him.
He chucked it up there.
As much as I hate to say it, he burnt the shit out of Sherm.
yeah,
Bro,
well,
like,
I mean,
he
man-to-man
chucked-
coverage, it's over.
That's because Sherm can't play man defense.
What did I just say? What did I just
He's
fucking
his own
say?
corner. We're not here to argue about Sherm. I don't
But
want to get that heated, man. Heat in the moment. I don't want to get that heated.
Bro, but look, he was wide the fuck open in the Super Bowl on a what was a key third down, right?
Yeah, third down.
And
it was a 3rd and 10. I'm pretty sure.
he
yeah,
chucked
3rd
it
and 1.
up there like that.
Anyone could have made that throw.
Anyone could have made that throw, and any receiver could have made that catch. But
But not any receiver could run that route.
Exactly.
Exactly.
But that also goes
Great
back
point.
to the thing is he also has the best weapons in the league, in my opinion. He's got Sammy Watkins, Tyreek Hill, fucking Travis Kelce, who's the
Demarcus
second best tight end in the league.
Yep.
I mean,
He's got speed like no other.
and he's got a good
Yeah.
O-line.
Yeah.
You know, he had the
Great O-line.
longest snap to pass in the league.
Mitchell Schwartz.
just sat back there.
Duvernay Tardif, Eric Fisher, former '1 pick. Yeah, he's got a great O-line.
But Mahomes had the longest snap to pass. He would have just sat back there and waited for someone to be open deep. That's literally their game plan.
It is.
So while he does have a really good,
he has great scramble. ability,
he has
too.
good.
makes
He has
plays.
really good scramble ability. But I also don't know how good he would be without the great offensive line, without the great weapons.
Yeah. I
You
guess.
see, like a lot of great quarterbacks. Like
So would you almost say he's a?
I would say, and he has.
I don't know.
I
if
would.
he's a
Well, it's
system
hard to
quarterback,
tell because you could say every quarterback is a system quarterback especially if they have
That's true.
success.
Listen,
That's
I'm
true.
not saying, and when I say
That's true.
system quarterback, I'm not saying he's only good because of the system, but I'm saying his
system
game
makes him
is significantly
Well, if your
significantly enhanced because of his game.
Well, okay, but if your system is literally
And it's
just like the
weapons.
best players in the fucking league, then of course it's gonna make you better. It would
Right.
make anybody better, but
true.
I
but
mean,
I want to see like
he's still
Jimmy
amazing.
G, that's a great example. You know?
But I
Jimmy
also-
G's a great quarterback, but the system makes him.
I also want to
better.
see him have a battle line with average or below average receivers.
Yeah, put him in like the Chicago Bears offense. You know,
I don't
if he-
know
if
he's
he was,
in-
if he
I
was
don't-
drafted number 2 instead of Mitch Trubisky, how do you think he would have done?
He's not
it?
winning MVP.
Maybe not MVP, but I think he's
And the
still.
Chiefs are winning.
He's not winning the Finals MVP.
But
It's
I
not
can
getting
tell, but I
there.
can tell you though, Chiefs aren't winning a Super Bowl with Mitch Trubisky.
Fuck no.
That's
Fuck
because
yeah.
if you think about that, because Mahomes is still so
But
much
it-
better than him.
Also,
By far.
also, I mean, Alex Smith only won, or Mahomes only won one more game than Alex Smith in his MVP season. So
Well,
that should tell you that that's
more,
the system.
Yeah, that's a testament to how good that
It's true.
team is. That's a great team. I mean, even though the defense wasn't.
The defense was good
was
last
much
year.
improved because in that.
That's why they won the Super
well,
Bowl.
that was a problem for them in the
Yeah.
past, and they got better.
It was that secondary. was
Honey
bad.
Badger just improved them. Frank Clark.
Mhm.
I mean,
Mhm.
the addition of Honey Badgers kind of saved their ass. That's the reason they won the Super Bowl. In my opinion.
I'm not gonna
because
lie.
of Mahomes.
I thought the Chiefs
Mahomes-
were fucked after Frank Clark started talking shit about Derrick Henry.
Oof.
I thought it was over for them, but they managed to do it.
I mean, after
because Earl Thomas did it too.
after
and
he
then that
turned
was-
Earl
yeah.
Thomas,
Yeah,
who's
into
really
a-
close with
to
his
a
brother,
blocker.
Turned into a
who's-
blocker.
Yes.
I don't know, man. I can never. I would never.
Bro, you see what Kellen Hurd said?
Oh yeah.
He's like, he's talking about their brothers. Like, I hear they're tight. Holy shit!
I think that really goes over everything in the agenda, boys. You guys got
there
any
anything
final parting thoughts that
No,
you guys want to say
I'm
for heat of the
good.
moment?
paper for that?
Yeah, go for it. If you got any parting thoughts or anything you want to bring up before we leave,
I don't know. I mean, we said
we're
fuck
good.
Dak enough, right?
I think we hated on Dak enough.
All
I don't
right.
know.
I think that's good.
I
We
think
can
we're
wrap it
good.
up.
Yeah. Well, this is episode 2, Heat of the Moment. Satchel, thank you for
Thank you for having
spending
me.
time with us on PJ's birthday, man.
I
Good
enjoyed
episode. Yeah, I'll give you an elbow for the virus.
Power forward.
Yeah.
Power
This is our pair of power forwards here, big body motherfuckers.
I hope to be back again.
Yeah, absolutely. But for now, I guess we'll just wait till next week. Thank you for joining us on Heat of the Moment, and next week we will be coming back with you with my friend Josh Barr, the Atlanta Falcons
Oh,
fan.
he's gonna get fucked up. I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you that right now. I got 283 reasons for him why his team is dog shit.
Oh, Anyways,
If anyone wants to,
Can't wait for you to edit out all of them once you
we'll save it for next week.
Bro,
Anyways,
I hope y'all got that reference too.
yes, we got the reference.
Good.
Anyways,
283.
Thank you, Heat of the Moment Nation. Until next week.
Heat of the moment.
Catch y'all later.
Hey, yeah. Choose the money for I choose the fame. I ain't choose the game, but the game chose me. All my life I've been chasing to a bag, cookie in the pack, and it stay on me. Got a loaf, I be chillin'.